apologize for the time being a bit colored tonight. It's gonna be all right. I want to thank you, before we get started, for showing up. This event means a lot to me. It was a vision that was given to me by God almost a year ago, something that felt too big for me, very scary, a lot of different obstacles. I don't know about everybody else's week, but this week I had some uppercuts going on. So if you experienced that, thank you for showing up and for being here. And welcome to the inaugural Brok'n Lettrs. Thank you. All right, so before we get started, we have my cousin in the cut over here, Nia Banks, AKA Blue Hoodie Art. She'll be doing a live piece throughout the show. I'm gonna reveal that before the show wraps up. We have Monsieur JPL. JP. He's Haitian, the accent is fine. It's cool. It's cool. And in case you don't know me, my name is Bria Joy. I am a Louisiana native, relocated to Atlanta 3 years ago. And yeah, we're gonna kick it off. Oh my God, thank you so much. It's that. All right, so before we get started, I have some house rules, right? Y'all have been in the swing of clapping. This is poetry, right? So the stigma is snap, right? But it's open. So if you feel it, snap. Can I hear some snaps? Okay. But if it resonates with you, you can clap. So let me hear you clap if it resonates with you. Okay, I just said something really poetic. You feeling it? Snap. Snap if you feel it. Okay. Test run. Test run. But it resonates with you. So I just said something that resonates with you. What you doing? Clapping. We're going to revisit that. Okay. We also have Miana over here in case anyone would like something to sip on at the cash bar over there. And we have Mr. West, who will be doing videography and photography. We also have Kleenex in case you get a little hung up over your emotions. It's an open space. So I want to invite you tonight to feel. Okay. A lot of the time we suppress, we feel the need to hide. I have the best and the worst friends in the world because they had me really hung up just a few minutes ago. But I want to invite you to fully allow yourself to feel whatever, whether it's joy or sadness or actually there's a lot of anger. You know, those are the top 3 emotions. But I want to let you know that this is a safe space for everything. Okay? All right, so tonight I'll be serving you an 11-piece spicy nugget combo going on, like the spicy nuggets that we for sure Chick-fil-A is more than capable of making. Right. Okay. So the first nugget is to take into consideration the things that are too expensive to hold value. I remember being in the 3rd grade and we had a bell ringer, right, wherever they would give you like a topic. And I remember my teacher asking if we would want like all of the power or all of the money or a time machine. And I think of the 3, I would rather have a time machine, right? Because you can have all the money in the world and lose it. You can have all the power in the world and end up like Diddy, or, you know, just have a lack of respect. But with the time machine, it's so valueless, right? You can go back and give yourself some nuggets so that you have more money or power or a status or whatever. But yeah, I really want that time machine. And it's not to make my cash money long or anything like that, but it's so I can pour a little more light and a little more joy into a little jar and give it to every version of me so that they know that every battle scar will morph into the most remarkable beauty mark. We really need to unpack this time machine thing because I wouldn't use it to cause a wrinkle in time, but I would zap into our childhood bedroom so I can hug you. Well, me, not you, because hugging you in my bedroom is weird. But I would zap into our childhood bedroom and hold you tight and dry your eyes. I would affirm you as you realize that you're beautiful. You are still whole even though all of your innocence was taken. I would braid your hair with bows and buy you a brandy doll so you did not feel mistaken to grow up so fast. I would freeze time and hop back into my time machine. But not to give myself the patent to Microsoft so I can become like a billionaire with a bunker or anything crazy like that. We're gonna actually pin that one. I'll zap into the bathroom as you're finishing up your makeup to go cake up with what's his name, and we just gonna call him Devontae, because child, it's always a Devontae. I would hand you a makeup wipe because your hand got a little heavy, but I get it. See, it's easier to mask and suppress so you won't regret it, but baby girl, I'm here to break it to you. You're setting booby traps for big-headed heartbreaks. Sorrow and shame will try to befriend you. You cannot let them in, boo. I need you to choose you. You cannot let them in you. I would hug you and freeze time. I would get back into my time machine. And this time, I would backhand you just a little bit and then zap you with a little laser from Men in Black 2. Hear me out, because you're moving too damn fast. Fast as that motorcycle. And though you look stunning in your wedding gown, this would not be your last. See, as I gaze into those deep brown eyes like a looking glass, I see our youngest self dressed as a princess building castles on the foundation of our past self. See, this is a lot. And it is reminiscent of a wife who wanted just one more shot, one more glance, and was instantly sifted into the sand where she sought. See, right now, you're in this place between knowing Jesus and desiring familiar taste. It is a very dangerous place. I would hug you and remind you to lightly tread. I would pull you in for a tight embrace and slap the taste out of your mouth from the back of your head. Freeze time. Get back into the time machine. This last trip, I would zap every version of me so that they could see who God healed us to be. We are a mama bear that protects her young in a way that intimidates the biggest grizzly. In the face of adversity and pain, we stand firm in the Lord and leave our hearts to open and love fiercely. In spite of all the naysayers who keep our name on their tongues like a dog's tongue to a frisbee, we shine, baby. We wear divine exuberance like a tatted sleeve with peace and joy that's locked in weave. Oh my. We must hop back into our time machine. But just one group hug before we leave. I know everything ain't perfect, and it took a little longer than expected. But I hope that you respect that every speck of this journey will always be worth it. Thank you. We're gonna clear up the house rules real quick. So the clap, we're gonna save that to the end, right? Right. Okay. That is fine. It's all good. It's a learning experience. We're learning together. All right. So nugget number 2, how you love yourself spills over into how you receive and give love. So also, full disclaimer, this is interactive, right? I don't want to feel like I'm talking at y'all and y'all just like, and not fully understanding what's going on. Like when I ask you a question, I want you to respond and, tell the truth. We're family. It's an intimate space. Okay. So aside from the shower, we'll do a show of hands. How many of y'all look at yourself naked at least once a day? Okay. Keep your hands up if it's twice a day. Okay. 3 times a day. 4 times a day. 5 times a day. What y'all got going on? Why you naked all the time? What you, JB? Why you 5 times?
I take naps.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, if you like the cool on you, we're just gonna move along. Okay, so for those who don't look at yourself naked a lot, I want to encourage you to look at yourself naked a bit more. Really look and fearlessly hop. Ride every curve, then stop. Nosedive into both sets of dimples. Appreciate every beauty mark and acne scar caused from pimples. Thank every joint and organ for making their design seem simple. You see, this temple was wonderfully created so you could just be. I find so much freedom in that. Nudity. But if I can speak transparently, somewhere along this ride, I veered into this tunnel that led to a room of filtered imagery. The walls showed this looped montage of what I was expected to be by society, and it scared me. This hazy fog started to consume me until I lost my identity, and I am so sorry. This ain't good enough. I need more. My chest ain't big enough. My waist ain't small enough. My money ain't tall enough. I need more stuff. More money, more influence, more masks to disguise myself. I hold no desire to recognize myself. I wake up and make up how I want you to see me. Pick another shelf or another show for the masses packed into that small black screen. I am exhausted. And I suffer in silent screams. My mind is tired. My soul is weary and grieved from every spirit of comparison that would just leech, then leave this ride. It's starting to feel like a downward spiral, with jerking turns and abrupt yearns to go viral from strangers in hopes. I am exhausted. And a little ashamed. And a little estranged from my creator. Which I suppose explains the amount of pain I feel carrying the shell that I was never even meant to fit in. I need some help. I need some help taking it off, please. Don't just sit there and stare. Please help me. Don't just tap and scroll, because it's really taking a toll that I cannot afford to pay. Just help me. Help me get my nudity back. I don't care. I'll strip bare in front of the whole world. I find so much freedom in that. To just be. Thank you. Bye. Tess. Ooh, the enemy is busy. That was a part of it. It's fine. We rehearsed it. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so we got nugget number 3. Agape love is always worth the risk. Amen? Amen. Y'all know what agape love is? It's unconditional. It's unconditional. It's the love that God gives us. So I'm going to need a volunteer. I'm going to need a volunteer to come up to the stage real quickly. I don't know what's going on. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Y'all just looking at me. What's your name? Teresa. Oh, hi. Hello. I'm going to get you to stand right here. Okay. In the stage. Give it up for our beautiful Teresa, my cousin. Okay, so we're gonna play rock, paper, scissors. All right. So whenever I was in college, we went to freshman orientation, and we used to do this icebreaker that was the rock, paper, scissors tournament. And so we had a big group of people play rock, paper, scissors against each other. Whoever loses, not saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have judged you. Whoever loses basically has to chant the winner's name. So we're going to play rock, paper, scissors. Go on, shoot. Okay. And, so we're going to split this up. So let's have from Kanai to the wall. Y'all can chant, Bria Joy, Bria Joy. And then from Jalen on back and on across to the bar, y'all can chant Teresa. Is everybody clear as far as what team you're on? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah. All right, so on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Bria Joy. All right, you ready? Bria Joy. All right. Bria Joy. Rock, paper, scissors. You gonna shoot. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Bria Joy. Bria. That's okay. I won, y'all. Give it up for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're good. Okay. The mic is going. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah. I'm just gonna stop touching it. All right. So that was fun. I appreciate you. I think, I don't know, as I explore and date, I really wish dating was as easy as rock, paper, scissors, right? But, right? But instead of rock, paper, scissors, shoot, like it'll be like reason, season, lifetime, shoot. But I don't know what the rules would be. Like, that's kind of tough. Like, does season trump reason? Does lifetime beat season? I don't know. Because I'm sure that all 3 serve their own purpose. But I think that's why that uncertainty makes me so damn nervous to play the love game. See, I've fallen before. But baby, my prince, my prince was so dashing and charming. See, he always knew what to say so that I could never hit the floor. I introduced him to my world, but he taught me how to explore. Every kiss, every caress and longing gaze made me yearn for him more. It was an intoxicating wanderlust. And not a day passed without me daydreaming about us. I mean, maybe 4 or 5 mini me and yous. Your eyes, my smile, our hue. Oh. My heart was synchronized with his tune. So you can understand why it troubled me when I discovered that a blot clouded my vision to see what was not true. I was blindsided and confused at how the same lips that sang sweetness into my soul cursed me the same, calling me out my name, cutting me deeper in every argument. How is it possible to see hell in the eyes of an angel I thought was heaven sent? Were you hiding in plain sight, or was my lens just rose tint? How naive to believe that a fairy tale love could ever happen for me. Reason, season, lifetime. Shoot. While all 3, I'm sure, serve their purpose, the uncertainty of winning at the game of love makes me so damn nervous. Because on the surface, I don't want to lose. But deep down, I just want to fall. Thank you. We gonna test this out real quick. Okay. All right. Okay. That's all right. Okay. I'm gonna wait for everybody to take their seats before we get started. To our fourth nugget. All right, so you need to know when to fight and when to take flight, right? I think one of the greatest gifts that God gives us is discernment. And a lot of the time, he shows us signs and answers with like that FedEx spiritual same day answering. But because it doesn't always align with what we want to hear, we just ignore it, right? And I think that's how you end up at jobs or in relationships or in situations that you weren't even meant to be in because you got caught up fantasizing over a fairy tale. Once upon a time, I dreamt, but y'all, I swear I was awake. You see, the clouds departed as I felt the ground shake, and there you stood. Soul blazing, eyes gazing deep into mine, and with just a divine utter of sweet somethings, my heart intertwined in your fingers. And whether or not I yielded his permission to leave, my intuition told me you were mine, and I to you. So, effortlessly, I flew in maddening, passionate love with you. I dove to my knees to pray the heavens to come to you. I celebrated you because as your wife, any accomplishment in your life is mine too. I set my goals to the fire to keep you warm. I deprived my desires to crave you more. I was a surrogate of your dreams, providing light and nourishment so that the world's discouragement could never consume you. I dreamt that if this reality is somehow some dream, when I awake, your love for me would delicately take my heart so that it could never break. Once upon a time, I woke up, and the warmth that I thought transcended from a furnace of passion was from turned coals of the death you spoke over me. Like a fever, my body pulsated in sweat from your touch, though my heart felt displaced. I am in utter confusion on how I allowed delusion to paint this mosaic fairy tale of stained images. Those deep eyes dropped me in a trance. You spoke spells where I stood to make me dance to the strings you held to my soul, my covenant Geppetto, who I could never seem to let go, yanking me, breaking me, piece by piece, so that your ego had more room to grow. You left me empty. You drained me. You dismayed me and made me see you. See through all the smoke and mirage you stuffed into that princess cut suffering. If this reality is somehow some twisted dream, if I were to awake, I pray my heart that was torn from the seams gets sewn into the streams that I wallow in each day. For it is from the shattering of many pieces that God's art is played and placed on display. Thank you. Okay. All right. So nugget number 5. If it's not them, then it's you. Okay? Nobody wants to take accountability. Sometimes you're the drama, sometimes you're the problem. So I know in today's day and age, it's often glorified to step into your villain era, right? Your villain origin story. And okay, just a quick show of hands. Is anybody in their villain era? Raise your hand. Yeah, it's a safe space. You can admit it if you're in your villain era. Okay. All right. Some of y'all not going to accountability. It's fine. It's all good. All right. So I don't think I've personally experienced one. I think I wanted to, but my heart is too soft for all that. Like, I can't fully just set myself to be the villain in somebody else's story. You know what I mean? And it's all fun and games till it's time to actually be the villain. It's to a point where you realize that you actually cause someone pain, till you realize that you may, again, be the problem. I have experienced great pain. I have experienced great loss and devastation. But before you allow your empathy to run deep, for me, I have a confession to make. I have caused great loss. I have caused great pain and devastation. But before you allow your judge and jury to bury me, I have demons to face. I have damage to undo and an apology to make. I would like to start by announcing to the world that you were the love of my lifetime. I don't know at what point in time I did this deed for you to become this angel I got to call mine, but you gave me 3 years of roaring tears from laughter. You were my lover, my cheerleader, the beginning and end to my happily ever after. I loved you, and I took you for granted. So you took away access. Between broken promises and pointless arguments, passing a torch to my ego when you were making too much damn sense, you expected me to be selfish, so I can only own up to it. I rested you on my heart. So when you uprooted everything, I flatlined, saw red, and fell apart. Resurrecting as a monster that snagged at your wings, I allowed what was left of my heart to dismay me and portray you as a fallen angel. I have a confession to make. I was an author of intentional mistakes. See, it was easier to get you to hate me as I dove into my villain era. I'll never forget the look on your face when you came out to the birthday slashes on your tires from me, your newfound terror. That was, I regret it. Now I can admit that it was quite arrogant for me to believe that I could give you 100,000 reasons to just forgive me. Just forget it. Just move on. I don't blame you, nor forgive you for ghosting me. It leaves me haunted. It leaves me feeling daunted, wanting you, confused by the hell I caused my angel to go through. I have a confession to make. I can attest that the biggest lessons come from the greatest blessings being stripped away. I would like to confess to the world that I am the sole root of dismantling a bond that was once intertwined with the love of my lifetime. Thank you. Quick ask, could you hand me a bottle of water over there? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. While we get something to wet my whistle. All right, so okay, so nugget number 6. Are y'all keeping up with the nuggets? Are these nuggets good for y'all? Yeah. Oh my gosh, y'all had a dream about this moment. No, it just, I was like, what? Why was some red light, and what was Jalen doing here? Jalen is my nephew with this dress situation going on. Thank you. Oh, you opened it for me. Thank you. Oh. Wow, that was a full circle moment. Okay, so nugget number 6. It is better to allow yourself to try and fail than to fail before you actually try. So as big as a cliche as you miss 100% of the shots that you've never taken seems, I think it actually holds weight. Like when I think of every vision and dream that God has given me that I don't want to die. Like if I were to die tomorrow, I'll be like, but I have so much I need to do, you know, like when I think of that and how bad I want them to come to fruition, honestly, sometimes it triggers me. It makes me feel anxious. It makes me stagnant, and I end up just kind of sitting still, you know? And I think the same thing can be said about relationships. Because we're still carrying the hurt and, you know, the callous of everybody who managed to hurt us. Sometimes you think that you're unworthy of receiving love from somebody, of someone, the possibility of someone unconditionally loving you. And that's not true. So I encourage you, you know, if you're that person who's dealing with that insecurity, who's dealing with, you know, everything from the past, to let that shit go. You know what I mean? Respectfully. Let it go. You don't want to miss out on who God has aligned for you because you're carrying the weight of the past. Yeah? Amen. There you go. I always believed in y'all. Just want to be clear. I remember our last fight. That night was different. And had I known that the arrogance of tomorrow was running on fumes, I would have been more driven to spend our time with a bit more intention. Baby, I'm sorry. See, it was never my intention to hurt you. And honestly, I would give every penny, stock, and pension for just a moment more of your attention. Wait. I'm sorry, I need you to hear my plea. Because I loved you from the depths of me, which included the broken parts. So I mean it when I say that I tried to carry your heart with delicacy, but I dropped it and found it pinned to one of my shards. So maybe, darling, we were just doomed from the start. You see, when you're on this arc, this slippery slope of self-sabotage, you can't decipher divine identity from manifested facade. You don't know when to give to that gander or spare the rod. You don't know when to speak up or just smile and nod. You don't know if you should just give into this uphill battle or continue to try. You can't decipher the voice of you, the voice of the enemy, and the voice of God. And so before you have the chance to fail, it only makes sense to cave deep into your vices, wandering aimlessly in the dark with a Glock switch. And by the time the clock ticks, the clock clicks and holds between who I said I was, who I actually am, and who I can no longer pretend to be. That night, I knelt before thee, bleeding, begging, pleading, begging, scratching, begging, latching, begging. And you looked down to me. And all of a sudden it just clicked. This is it. This is eternity. A newfound reality where there is no you with me. Thank you. Good evening. Hello, guys. Hello again. I've been working. The second half is a little heavier than the first half. We have our wonderful songbird, Jay Payal, who's gonna do a musical selection for you guys. So enjoy.
Test. How y'all doing tonight? Good. If you're feeling good, say hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was sexy. I like that. Y'all clap for yourselves tonight, man. Anybody like old school out there? So I grew up on old school, yeah, I think I want to just chill out with y'all tonight. If that's all right with y'all, say whoop whoop. Whoop, whoop. All right, let's do it. Let me see y'all snap your fingers. I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find love within. I came back to let you know, got a thing for you, can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me, 'cause I'm in the day from your love, you see. I came back to let you know I got a thing for, can't let go. Though I only want the best, it's true. I can't believe the things I know for you. What you won't do for love. Let me hear y'all. You try everything, but you won't give up. Yeah. I thought you were gonna sing it. Only you make me do what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Guess I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know I got nothing for you that I can't let go. Some people go around the world for love, but they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, it's only you who make me to fall love. Da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da. Everybody snap your fingers, da 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 da, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ooh, 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 ooh. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Thank you.
I low-key feel like y'all can do better than that. Y'all give another round of applause for JPA. Thank you so much. Okay. How y'all feeling? Y'all good? Y'all still feel light? Yeah. Anybody cry? That's all right. That's all right. I paid like $15 for this cleaner just by using, you know? So, again, the second half of the show is a bit heavier than the first. You know, it's easy to kind of get into the whimsical of being in love and heartbreaking. Yeah, I don't like him and all that stuff. But I really, again, want to invite y'all to feel whatever that looks like. If it's happiness, if it's anger, if it's joy, if it's reminiscence, whatever you want to feel. Again, this is a safe space. If you want to cry, because I may or may not, but this beat, you know what I'm saying? It's a little water resistant, but not fully water resistant. Okay. But I just wanted to give y'all that mini nugget before the main nugget, if you will. So we have nugget number 7. Adjust your own oxygen before helping others. Right? They tell you that on the airplane. Before you help that person. So there are a few controversial, hey, we all black up here. There's a lot of controversial debates that happens amongst the black community. So I'm gonna name a few examples. We have Uno, if it's okay to put a draw 4 on top of a draw 2, right? Okay, that's crazy. Developing that rift already. So the next thing would be, if Bobby Brown really was the problem, like if he really was the demise of Whitney Houston. Because I saw the Bobby Brown Untold story, and she had a little situation on their wedding day. There's if water is wet, right? And then there's if you put milk before your cereal, right? Or if you put cereal before the milk. I'm more of a cereal before the milk, because why are you wasting all that milk? You're not even going to use it, you know? And then the last thing that always got to me was if Rose had room on that door to let Jack on. That's the one that really pisses me off. You know, it was a fling. Let's sit there, right? Let's unpack Rose and Jack, because, in the beginning, they were quite smitten and with commonality and sexual tension, yet when all crashed and burned, all that lust and dedication took an abrupt turn, not to mention locking eyes with someone who could be your soulmate. As their soul slowly leaves their eyes, you speak life into them in hopes that they will never die. You hold on to her hand as your body slowly freezes. And you feel almost selfish to ask, is there room for me? It's interesting. I've actually experienced something similar to that. But we were more like Apple and Jack, or some might even call us freaking frack. In fact, at a drop of a dime, I could never think of a time that I wasn't by her side. Always had her back. And I just knew she had mine. Maybe that was the problem. That every issue she faced, I tried to replace the savior to resolve it. You see, when you crown yourself with the savior's complex, you could not possibly predict what comes next. You just prepare to fight and fly out to the rescue throughout every day and night, exhausting your wings to protect someone who's in denial of even needing saving. She never asked me to, and I never asked why. So eventually, your tears run dry, your back grows weary, your feet sinks with disparity. My missions became arguments. My concern for her burned into this built up resent. And as I replay every instance that I went above and beyond the distance to love you, to carry you, to care for you, I can see me slowly freezing to death. But unlike Jack, I refuse to go out like that. I refuse to die in the hands of someone who uses me as a buffer when they actively choose to suffer and hand over their peace and heart to a lover who spews venom in every "I love you." I love you. But it is time for me to hand back this crown. Otherwise, I would die in the hands of someone who tells me they love me as they watch me drown. Thank you. Oh no, I'm trying to surrender. Mom, I got you. Thank you, though. I appreciate you. I love you. So nugget number 8. There is room for healing to be both reprimanding and rewarding. Quick show of hands for those who are in therapy or have gone to therapy before. Okay. Actually, y'all give it up for yourselves. For choosing healing, choosing therapy, right? And just, I'm talking about talk therapy, not like physical therapy, you know what I'm saying? I get therapy, but you know. Here. I think the biggest thing is therapy. I've learned a lot. I've cried a lot. You feel it. But I learned a lot. I started therapy. Oh, wow. It was a year ago this month. Oh, my God. I'm doing it, crying through it, but doing it, you know. But I think that, honestly, it's just been the biggest roller coaster. And it's one that I enjoy. And it's one that I honestly recommend for everybody to try at least once. Yes. You know, I get that therapy isn't for everybody. I get that everybody isn't ready for therapy. But try one session and see how it goes. Even if you're doing great, just see how it goes. You know, it's not always waiting until you're bleeding out. Sometimes you got to just do a maintenance check, you know. So, as commercialized and encouraged therapy is, I don't think anybody does a good enough job of explaining how ghetto it is. Like, when it comes to the journey of unmasking and undressing and unraveling every single wound, it's just ghetto, rewarding, but ghetto. And in my last undressing session, this 10-year-old little girl came out as ego, just stomping and screaming for a chance at tomorrow, hoping that tomorrow would bring more healing, hoping that tomorrow would bring more joy and comfort and the feeling of being wanted. See, today taunted her because it was Father's Day. A day to celebrate those who act a little bit more than a sperm donor. He's a protector. An extended manifestation of God's hand on earth, a daddy who would break the neck of every son and daughter who went after his son and daughter. But how do you show honor to someone who didn't even want her? Just a broken child, bearing a child until she's broken. A broken child, beating his broken child, leaving her esteem choking on a short leash, teaching her that love is conditional. People are replaceable. Pain is inevitable, especially from those who say they love you the most. This little girl held these principles close, making it hard to let someone into her calloused heart, especially when she's experienced so much pain from the same hand that held her and tore her apart. No accountability, just entitlement. The biggest thing I've learned in therapy is that healing is having grace in the face of adversity. Healing is an active decision to progress into the best version of me. It is allowing your heart to frolic in God's hand, allowing his divinity to grow and transform and guide you to the other side of brokenness. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, y'all clapped. Y'all good? Y'all okay? I love you guys. You don't have to love me back.
Love you too.
But I love you. Oh my God, thank you. So, nugget number 9. Forgiveness is just as much for you as it is for those who need to be forgiven. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I feel like I know just about everybody in this room, but for those who don't know me, I love me some Jesus, y'all. Oh my gosh, I love him so much. I love him so much. So much. And over the years, we've developed a very straightforward way of communication. Like before, when I was being disobedient and just wanted to blatantly do what I wanted to do and ignore him, he would speak to me through my body. And I didn't like that. I was like, we don't have to go through all that. You don't have to make me sick. You don't have to have my auntie come over way before she's supposed to come over just because I wanted to go over that guy's house. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to do that. It's very unnecessary. It was giving very much Jonah, very much Gideon, you know. But now we're good. You know, I still pout, but I'll do whatever he says. It's just one thing that he's still dealing with me about, and it's during my prayer time when he shows me somebody I really, I can't stand. Like, you know, when you're praying and your heart and just crying and all that, he's like, hey, pray for your ex real quick. And I'm like, there's no one else? I mean, I'm gonna do it, but I just wanted to ask if there was someone else who could do it. But yeah, it just curious. But even through that experience, he's highlighting a piece of my heart that I haven't given to him yet. You know, through that reluctance, through that bombastic spiritual side eye that I'm giving him, you know, it's highlighting a part of my heart that I haven't surrendered. So, yeah. I think through that, you don't necessarily have to forget what they did, but it is up to you to actually forgive them. Yeah. One of the hardest things about forgiveness is acceptance, especially to someone who actively rejects you. I used to question God as to what misstep did I do to deserve a father who never managed to see the best in his kid. One of the hardest things about forgiveness is acceptance. Acceptance that your love for me may never be expressed wholeheartedly, but rather by recklessly tearing me down before the world does, right? Acceptance that I will never hear, "Well done, son," until my race is well done. That shit used to really get to me. An olive branch, becoming a figment of my imagination, no empathy, no hugs nor pats, just mugs and love lost in translation. Just callous resent and repeated repentance for every time I would quietly scream, "I hate you." I have my own son now, and he shines in a way that brightens up my darkest days. I thank God for gifting me with the manifestation of a healed me, an assignment, an opportunity to pour everything that as my father you drained me of. See, I sharpen him with a double-edged sword of discipline and love. I remind him that the time we spend together, I never take for granted. Father, I need you to know that I accept you. You and the little boy inside of you that prevented you from being the father I needed you to be. I need you to see that I accept you. In fact, I forgive you with no expectation of an apology. Thank you. I'm going to need y'all to bear with me. So, nugget number 10. One of the most important keys to grief is allowing yourself to receive grace. Remember how I acknowledged how ghetto like healing is? Grief is his first cousin for sure. First cousin. This first half of the year was very heavy for me. So the second half is very personal for me. In the first half of the year, I felt like I got an uppercut after uppercut after uppercut when it came to loss between relationships and friendships and family. I don't know, I think that amount of pain that I experienced was very foreign to me. I hadn't experienced that, and I found, this isn't a part of the piece, by the way, I just wanted you to know. Okay, I'm sorry, Kobe. I've never experienced that amount of pain. I've never experienced that amount of grief. I lost someone who was like a father to me. And it hit me a little differently, and it hits me in waves. And I wrestle so much with pride and being a perfectionist and trying to seem strong. And I think that through that first half of the year, I had to go through that so God could reiterate to me and remind me where my strength comes from. I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be strong. I could just be in his presence. So if you've ever experienced loss, whether it's from a relationship or an opportunity or a loved one, allow yourself to experience that grief, but allow yourself to receive grace. Yeah. I'm trying not to be selfish. I'm trying not to seem angry or blaming or ashamed of my apparent tears, because for years, you've used your lips to speak life into me. For years, you loved me and raised me. We made plans for tomorrow and the day after yet, and yet in an inkling that led to eternity, your silence belted out the biggest lie you never spoke to me. It was deafening. Tomorrow came, and the day after that, you were gone. So am I wrong to just give up trying and just be selfish, be angry, drown in the stream of my tears that boil from anger and roll with grief? You see, grief, it comes in waves. And if my tears are to a tsunami, then my heart is the tip of Sumatra, because at times I feel like Frank Sinatra, for this love of mine was taken from me, but what feels like was coercion by her own hand. And here I stand, feeling like a foolish clown, juggling grief and the temptation to slip deep down into depression, juggling confusion, because out of every word you ever spoke to me, there was never a confession of what was killing you. It's killing me to know I could never fuss at you again, to stop all that damn smoking. It's killing me that you let cancer uppercut you, leaving our hearts to be achingly confused with no peace of mind. Just broken and juggling and drowning. I'm trying not to be selfish. I just wish you allotted me the opportunity to love on you longer, to cuddle with you closer, to listen deeper, to trace our lineage back to the beginning, to sit in silence and watch the stars in the country sky glisten, smoke since you've been gone. A piece of me just feels missing. And even though I know you're in eternal rest with the Lord, I still look for you. And a gentle breeze on my back that reminds me of you being by my side. When I take an L, when I'm stressed, and when I hide from them kids, when I want to celebrate, when I feel against the world, I still look for you, my girl, wanting to call, wanting to fall into your lap as you hug me with pride, and the love you poured into me oozes on the outside. I just pray as I ride these waves of grief Like the living water surrounds me and bounds me. Back to shore. Thank you. Oh, I need a Q-tip. Jeez. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was really hard.
Beautiful.
Okay, girl. Okay, so I just need a second, y'all. I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh, is that yours? Oh, this one. Oh, thank you. It's okay. How y'all feel? Y'all okay? Y'all good? Okay. You're not okay. That's okay. I love you too. Thank you. You old faithful, because you told me you loved me the first time. I thank you. Before we move into this final nugget, I want to make a few acknowledgments. I want to, again, thank y'all so much for showing up. Thank you so much for supporting this vision that God gave me almost a year ago. For those who knew about this from when it was just an inkling of an idea, to those who have constantly encouraged me through the anxiety that I felt, through the imposter syndrome that I went through. I want each and every one of y'all to know that your presence here and support means the world to me. So thank y'all. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I love y'all big. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to acknowledge again Mr. J. Pierre. I don't know. Do you care if I use the accent? No. Mr. J. Pierre. He hates that for y'all who walks in with his French. For being my accompanist in crime, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. And then we have my amazing cousin, aka Blue. I ain't tell y'all her name. Nia Banks, aka Blue Liddy Art. Okay, she's gonna show y'all the piece that she's been working on throughout the show. Give it up, y'all make some noises. Yeah, all that, all that. Yeah, you can absolutely. Come on. You want the microphone? Okay.
All right. As I was doing this
You want me to
piece,
put it away?
as I was doing this piece, no, like that in that light.
Okay.
Oh, wow. All right. As I was doing it, I just thought of brokenness, so I did kind of like a broken mirror in the background.
Okay.
Just like I kind of did like the broken mirror in the background, and just like how in life, brokenness can sometimes be beautiful. So I did the rose, the hand holding the rose, as it surrendering to the beauty of brokenness. And yeah.
Thank you, cousin. Y'all really gotta follow her. Also, if you're not following me, follow me, Official Bria Joy on Instagram. But y'all definitely have to follow Nia. She has an immaculate hand. She hasn't even been painting for super long, but the gift is oily. It's oily. I gotta definitely check out her work. For sure. Gotta check out her work. Absolutely. Check it out. That's her mom right there. Y'all better, hey. Give it up. Okay, so I'm gonna bypass some time. We had to give Mr. JPL a brief, you good? Okay, you good? Take your time. Not, you know what I'm saying, but also. Not that much time, brother. We on restraints. All right. Did you get some water? No. Okay. Do you want to get some water, sis? Yeah. You're gonna get some water. Good. That's fine. Okay. Oh, urban colloquialism conversation going on in between. If you know, you know. So nugget number 11, you are always worth it.
Yeah. Say it again.
You are always worth it.
Thank you.
The Lord, huh? He showed you that, you know. So, full disclaimer, I meant to tell you this at the beginning. Throughout this process, everything that I've recited thus far was my rendition of the letters that I received. And I'm already a pretty empathetic person, but it kind of forced me into a place of discomfort of having to draw deeper into empathy, so that not only am I making it sound good, but it's drawing truth. You know, I'm staying true to the letter and the intent of everybody who wrote. So this is being recorded and sent to everybody who submitted a letter. I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for trusting me with your vulnerability. And that's about it. Yeah. I encourage you to continue to seek healing, because that's the whole thing. That's the whole premise of this, is they submitted a letter of something that they wanted to be free from, an experience or heartache or whatever that they want to be healed from. And so I encourage y'all to, if you want to submit a letter, you can. There's no pressure, but allow the Lord to really help you search your heart as far as the different nicks and crannies that's in there that you need to be healed from. And allow yourself to be free from that, because you're always worth it. So, this is my letter that I wrote to little Bria. All right. Dear Bria, this is your future self writing to affirm you. You probably don't know what that means, but I want to reassure you that I am someone who constantly works to make you proud. I know you feel alone right now, with your siblings gone and your mother thousands of miles from home. But one day you'll understand why that was necessary. I know you feel insecure about your transition glasses that Grandma got you, but she means well. She always does. Your body is going to go through a lot of changes, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. And unfortunately, this is when the seeds of comparison and body dysmorphia are planted amongst what's already there: lust and insecurity. Your innocence wasn't always protected, and that doesn't fall on you. You were made fun of because of your dark hue, and that doesn't fall on you. You lied about being from New Jersey to seem cooler since you were the new kid. That falls on you. That was stupid. This ain't a movie. Around this time, your personality is developing, but you still feel shy around your family. I know at this point in the letter, you're probably thinking, when does this get better? Are we famous? Did we marry Usher? Yes, no, nah, he's married twice, it's a whole situation. Honestly, I want to tell you every friendship that will fizzle. I want to tell you every relationship that won't work out. And really everything to do to avoid suffering. But I can't. See, it's through suffering that your creative art is born. It's suffering that makes you empathetic and kind and intentional. It's through suffering that you cling to the Lord. It's through suffering that you push through each day. And I know that doesn't sound sexy, but all of it is so necessary. In about 2 years, you're going to truly connect to Jesus in such an amazing way. He's going to breathe life into the dreams you're holding on to. He loves you that much. Beyond that. I love you so much. And I will forever protect you and work to heal your wounds. And most importantly, make you proud. With love, Bria. I gotta keep the beats. I gotta keep the beat. Jesus, it's just, I feel like I look crazy. Jesus. Yeah, this is by far one of the hardest things I had to do. Again, if I haven't expressed it enough, I can't express it enough. Thank y'all so much for breathing life into a vision that God showed me almost a year ago. And even in a very bleak dream that he showed me even earlier with seeing y'all in this room and not knowing what we were doing in this room. Again, I want to encourage y'all to seek healing. It's so much freedom in it. Seek forgiveness. Genuine forgiveness is so much freedom in it. And seek Jesus. Can we just pause right there real quick? Seek the Lord. Because he's gonna and to be clear, you know, as a believer, things get extremely ghetto, it gets extremely turbulent, but you at least know that you're gonna make it through. No matter how long it takes, no matter how ugly it gets, you at least know he's gonna bring you through. So thank y'all again. If y'all have any trash, put it in the trash can. I'm not trying to pay an extra $200 for a cleaning fee unnecessarily. Again to Miana, Nia, JPL, you know, thank y'all so much for contributing to the show.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all. That's it. Good night. Should I bow?